Last session, the party made their way back to Down, Amberlosa's home village. Amberlosa may have neglected to mention to the party that she was a wanted criminal there. The town hadn't forgotten her misdeeds, and Romhel's had bolstered security to the town under its jurisdiction in her absence. She was arrested, obviously, and after quite a bit of nervous hand-wringing and Q sneaking her Dark Shard amulet to Amberlosa's familiar, the party decided to make their way to Crow's Landing anyways, without her. And then to Romhel's afterwards, maybe some of the party. It hasn't exactly been decided yet what's going on there, I don't think. Trying to secure a boat also went very poorly. And now the 5 of you are on what is really a 3-person boat and potentially wanted criminals. So,
Went poorly. They still got the boat.
Yeah, I feel actually that that might have been the best way we could have possibly handled that.
No.
Nope.
It's really fucking not.
I mean,
We're
out
not
of our group,
inconspicuous enough to be criminals, Lucy.
the boat ride to Romhel's is actually kind of awful. It's just under
Great.
2 days of sailing through absolutely miserable conditions in the cold with dwindling supplies. It quickly becomes apparent that muscle memory, while fine in the heat of the moment, isn't really a substitute for actual memory, and trying to get Yvette to sail in any more dangerous waters than you're in right now would be a death sentence. You have the map though, so could just any of you roll me this survival check to see how well you can keep course?
we'll give it the
does-
old college try.
Does
Who-
proficiency in cartographer tools help me out here any?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
I'm
Actually, if you're proficient in it, actually just go ahead and roll just in case.
Oh,
Hell yeah! Now we just need a 7.
All right.
I
Can
tried.
I roll just for the
Can we all
sake
just
of
try, since clearly we're gonna get lost?
if everybody's trying, I'm going to limit it to only 3 people can roll.
I
No,
mean, I
it's
was the
fine.
one who was
That's fine.
holding the
God
map.
That's
fucking
fine.
damn it, Teo.
I was the one holding the map, so that's why I
Bailing
kept
us-
asking. But
Bailing us the fuck out.
this is why I kept asking, because I have the fucking map. Because I might have stolen Amberlosa's shit.
Yvette,
Well, I mean, party aren't gone, so you need to have someone who's a bit more stable.
Yvette and Q aren't even looking at the map and trying to steer.
I fucking hate you.
They're fighting over the wheel.
No. I am the captain here. I know how to work
There's some
the
CO.
water horse.
Q is about to learn what a mutiny is.
I'm going to
There's
throw them
seems
both
surrounding trouble.
overboard.
Alright,
I'll help.
so with that beautiful natural 20, you are not led off course, and Teo is actually able to spot out some of the less dangerous waters. And you make it to Crow's Landing at about, I'd say probably 6-ish at night. Drenched, miserable, cold.
First things first, do we just get kicked out instantly? Because, as I mentioned earlier, Q knows that we are 0 for 3 as far as towns go, and is very nervous about this enterprise.
Well, you, Yvette, she gets you to the docks without crashing. It's not a very fancy maneuver.
That's
But
good.
nobody approaches your ship as you dock.
In that case, we're gonna tie off and get the fuck off this stolen ship. Yeah? Good idea?
Yes. We need to find a place to stay, because I really doubt that the contact we are meeting is going to be up and ready for business at this hour.
Yes. Who do we send? Because you and Carrion cannot go in there, I don't think.
Either you or Q.
I would
Preferably
like
if
to
it's-
mention
Hmm.
the docks are inside the city wall, are inside the town's walls.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe we're all
You
okay
there are
then?
there are people watching you.
Can
There
we-
are
Oh, like staring at us?
there are a couple people watching you actually, and definitely watching you as a group specifically, but nobody's made any moves towards you, and nobody's pulled any weapons on you either.
Is
Are
there
any of these
anyone who
people
looks like a?
tieflings? Yeah.
Alright,
I was
I'm
gonna-
sorry.
Answer his question first.
I didn't hear either of your questions because you talked over each other.
Oh, sorry. Are any of these people tieflings or ASMR? On the dock.
Not that you see on the dock.
And
Are
then
there elves? Like wood elves?
There are not currently any widows.
are there any people who look like officials of any kind, like guards, like dock workers?
There are dock workers and there are guards. The ones specifically watching you. I mean, you've got a couple people that are just kind of glancing your direction, then looking away, or maybe glancing your direction, looking away, and then doing a double take when they go, "Oh, hey, isn't that a fucking tiefling?" But
Can I want to like politely hail one of the guards, like preferably one that's watching us.
okay. She will make her way towards you.
Yes, excuse me, madam. Are we allowed within the city walls?
As far as I'm concerned, with your company, anything's allowed.
Right. And could you point us towards a tavern or an inn that we could stay for the night?
Yeah. There's the Brass Lantern would be the closest one to any sort of standards that you'd be used to. She gives the rest of the party a questioning look as she does so, kind of focusing on Yvette for a moment.
Hi.
Right. Well, my thanks, madame. Shall we head off, everyone?
Yes. Let's do that. But let us make sure the boat's not gonna go anywhere first. And are we allowed to tie off here?
I thought we would be tied
Certainly.
off.
The name?
Yes, well we're tied off, but I don't know if we're allowed to stay here. I tied off so we wouldn't float away while we were talking.
Name of the ship?
The water horse. Yes.
Oh my
the water
god.
horse.
I
None of you can ever give me shit for Poseidon's Jewel again.
I would. None
I'm
of
still
us.
going to.
None of us. Did we, as a group, collectively give it that name to either of those ships? No. No, we didn't. The rage about stealing a ship is still really fresh in Teo.
I'm gonna look at Q and just quietly tell them we'll change the ship's name when I think of something better and when I find out how.
Right. Onward.
You know, this tavern probably costs money.
Yes. And
I don't have
fortunately,
any.
Q, I'm sure what you have can at least afford a night at the inn.
Wait, do I? I have
Hopefully.
all of our money. I forgot about that.
Yes, and it's not even our money. It's just your money. Our money was stolen by the guards
Yeah,
because
this is
they're
all
assholes.
the money from the box. Aside from the copper.
Because I'm sure that won't bite us in the ass. Oh, are you guys making me take lead as an
No,
ASMR?
no, Q would be in the front. Just
Oh, thank God.
Cool with that.
Now that we're
It's not
allowed,
that we're making you take lead as much as I'm just trying not to be super duper seen with you.
Oh. Polite.
I mean, look, they already hate you. I don't need your hate to radiate onto me.
Well, that's fucking rude.
Is it?
Was this
Am I
Are you
fucking
cur-
wrong?
Q, where are you taking the party since you've been put in the lead?
I'm aware we're looking for something called the Brass Lantern, so I am keeping an eye out for that. But also now that we are in a
I would have
town
told
for
you
the
any
first
directions we
time,
were told.
yeah. But now that we're in a town for the first time, Q is going to definitely get distracted by stuff along the way, depending how far a walk it is.
I will try to keep Q on task, but admittedly, I'm also looking around just
Oh,
seeing.
same.
what
I'm
there
just
may
being
be.
very, very cautious about it because, like Paco said, we're 0 for 3.
Yeah. Should
All right. Crow's Landing, the first town that, well, since you're missing your token, not full amnesiac, the only town that any of you have been allowed in without death happening like 2 seconds later. The people here are definitely giving the less human looking party members a wide berth. The walls and buildings are tall and cloistered together. This is very much a town that is being built up instead of out. Signs as you pass by, you don't immediately see the brass lantern, but you do pass by a couple. You pass by a general goods store, you pass by a bookstore, home residences, and finally well, brass lantern hangs out instead of a sign proper, although the name is labeled on the door. You found your tavern, and nobody has accosted you on the way.
marvelous.
Are we safe here?
Absolutely no idea. Probably not. But it's better than nothing.
This is true. Shall we go in?
We shall, but perhaps we should let Q lead the way again.
What's the inside of the inn like? I'm already there.
The inside of the inn is. It's 6 o'clock, so it's at that kind of. It's starting to trickle in for the dinner rush. And the bar room is, or sorry, the tavern main room is starting to fill up as people are coming in from their jobs and all that sort of stuff. So you are gonna have to work your way around quite a few people. The noise also definitely drops a little bit when you all walk in, but nobody seems. The bystander effect works marvelously in this situation.
Thank God.
Right.
And eventually, after a couple moments of you guys loitering in the doorway and everybody kind of trying to figure out we're not about to die, right?
Wait, is that the kind of looks they're giving us?
That's the kind of looks you're getting for a second before a woman, human, probably 5'6" ish, brown hair. She walks forward. She's in simple work clothes, like she definitely works here. And you here for a drink?
Preferably a place to stay for a couple of nights. Or just one if that's all that's allowed.
Okay. Um, and you were letting the gates? I'm sorry, that was rude. Yes, there are rooms available.
That was rude.
We have 3.
We could probably just split two if that is alright with the rest of you.
That's fine by me.
It's 8 silver per room, and it comes with free breakfast. You'll have to pay for lunch and dinner.
I missed the cost. It was how much per room?
8 silver per.
Right. Q, you have the money.
Q is probably walking around looking at what's on people's plates. But I presume you call her back.
Yes, I do.
I will hand Lady 2 gold pieces then.
All right. She
That
will
works out,
actually
right?
hand you a.
I just want to make sure I'm doing the math right.
I believe so.
Okay.
You should get 4 silver back.
Yeah, she'll actually hand you 4 silver back. And grab you the keys. First 2 doors on the right. And her body language is very much the yes, please go to your rooms now.
I'm
Right.
actually gonna sit at said bar.
All right.
Yeah, Q's gonna be downstairs.
All right.
I guess it's Carrion and Teo who need to go to their room.
Yeah. Not like I have money to get drinks.
I
Would
will
love
ask.
some alcohol.
I will ask Q to bring us some food. Just something small.
Anything specific?
No, just something cheap and not disgusting.
Going to walk up to the bar. Oops, sorry.
Preferably warm.
Q is at the bar asking for something small, not disgusting, and warm.
Oh God.
And 2 of them, because I assume
Um,
you and Carrion want.
Hmm. I will also ask for alcohol.
And alcohol.
All right. It's 4 silver for a mug of ale.
Whew.
Damn.
Now, what is ale?
Ale. Well, we have King's Ale, Dwarven Ale, Spiced Ale, Trollbane Ale. We got a few ales actually.
May I try one?
Yeah, for 4 silver.
If we get all of them and mix them together, like,
That's a fucking great idea, Q. Let's do it.
Oh God.
can you give us all of your ale in 1 cup?
2 cups.
2 cups?
Oh God. Oh God.
Yes, but I'll have to charge you 6 silver per cup since I'm going to be mixing a bunch of different ones in there.
Okay.
Yes.
I give him 1 gold and 2 silver.
All right, you are given your 2 mugs of death. You still have no food.
Well, I'm gonna wait for food
Is-
too. What does he give me for food?
Is Carrion and Theo here?
No, they're upstairs. Wait.
No.
Oh.
If you don't specify, you're just gonna get fucking beef steak and kidney pie. There.
Is it small, not disgusting, and warm?
It's small, not disgusting, and warm.
That's all we need. I'm taking that back upstairs and I'm handing Carrion her ale.
No money.
You know who wouldn't have let that happen? You know who's also not here?
I want you back more than I want these 2 walking free without any influence and guidance.
Oh yeah, we have no adult supervision. What the fuck?
Good luck.
I'm gonna raise my mug to Q, offering a toast.
I've taken mine upstairs to Carrion, so I'm just gonna like tap it with my fist, I guess. I don't know.
Works for me. And now I'm going to attempt to down this entire thing of ale like it was water.
All right. You get approximately one solid gulp in before you actually roll me a Constitution save.
Fucking bet.
Holy shit! Okay. You downed it like it's water. Congratulations.
Yay.
It's still gonna hit you like a truck in about 15 minutes, but
Did we just invent a new drink at this bar?
I'm gonna look at the
Yeah,
bartender and tell her that
wash.
was possibly the best thing I've ever tasted.
thanks.
I feel like that's a lie.
It's 100% a lie.
I just
He looks like he
Okay.
knows it's a lie.
I
Um
Can you remind me what this food actually was? Because I just wrote down Q brings us suitable food, or at least edible. All right,
Suitable's a
it's warm.
stretch.
It's warm and better than dirt.
Oh,
That's-
Blake, I hurt my sides.
That's how I listed it because let's be real, I'm French and this is not French food.
it's beefsteak and kidney pie. Okay, so as Q and Yvette are enjoying their food at the bar, getting settled in, Yvette is starting to feel the alcohol. And a woman sits down. Are you two sitting right next to each other at the bar?
Me
Yeah.
and Q?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. She's gonna
best
sit
buds.
down on Yvette's side then. So you're both newcomers.
Yes. Yes, we are.
One second, I actually have art.
She looks Irish.
Because she has red hair.
Yeah. Is that racist? I'm sorry.
So you're both new in town, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Hmm. What are your names?
My name is Yvette, and this is Q. And you are?
You can call me Larry.
I'm sorry, Larry?
Theory?
Leary.
Leary.
So I just have two questions actually. The first one, you're traveling with the new elephants in the room, right?
Yes.
I don't know what an elephant is.
Me neither, but yes.
You're traveling with the tiefling and the ASMR, are you not?
I still don't know what that is.
Altham actually
I'm
told us.
traveling. Oh, did they? Okay,
Yeah.
then yes. Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. And you don't remember anything
Nope.
at all.
I just found out what ale was. I don't know why people drink this shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean in and whisper. It's awful.
We're all allowed our own opinion. And what about you? You also can't remember anything? She's speaking directly to Q.
I don't suppose I would have seen this person anywhere before.
Not to your knowledge.
Q is weirded out that this total stranger has walked up and knows that they don't remember anything. Not to meme, but is it possible to do a vibe check? Are they
I
Yep,
don't
go
see
ahead
a
and vibe
gun
check
in your
us.
hand.
let's see, are they threatening or like
Are we doing an insight check or an actual vibe check with your sword?
insight? I'm not actually vibe checking.
Go ahead and insight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do I
This-
see they're trying
A
to?
new situation. This
It's true.
is a new city. You've met so many people in one place before.
Now for the real
and
vibe
you
check. No, I'm
and
just kidding.
you don't.
What did she ask me? I.
But she's
Yeah.
she's asking if you also don't remember anything.
Well, I remember walking here. We were walking for a long time. I remember being on a boat, and basically, roundabout, I remember only the immediate past.
Okay, I'm going to have to come at this from a different angle then. Yvette,
Yes.
you never were the most insightful person, were you?
No, I was not. I don't think. I don't know. I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, just like you don't remember that you have not exactly introduced yourself.
Oh my god, I didn't. How did you know my name?
Because we used to work together very closely.
Oh, that's cool. Was I a good worker?
Better fiance.
Oh. Um. Sorry.
Apparently. If you don't want to stay in this shithole tavern, you can take your friends to our house, where they aren't going to get stabbed in the middle of the night.
Wait. We have a house?
My house. For now.
Okay. I'm gonna go get my friends. I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna go pop up upstairs.
Q, she immediately flags down and the bartender.
Carrion and Theo,
That is not my name.
Teo,
Teo.
Teo.
Yeah. Yes. We were just enjoying this fantastic.
Do you guys want to sleep in an
Yeah.
actual house where we might not get stabbed in the middle of the night? Well, you guys might not. I might.
Are you
That
joking?
depends
I'm
Is this
not.
a joke?
No. I had a fiance at one point. And she just invited us to stay at their house.
And you believe her?
I'm insight checking that.
Immediately, without any reservation.
I'm not fucking lying.
I'm
Without-
vibe checking this.
Without any reservation, you are just agreeing to that.
Fuck.
Well, yes, and here's why. Somehow she knew my name, and I never introduced myself to her. I
Did
think.
she say that
Are
you
you-
were engaged? Did she say the word
I
fiance?
don't know if we are still engaged. She told me we used to work together, and then I asked her if I was a good worker, and she told me I was a better fiance.
Ah,
Right. Well, we could meet her and see how this goes.
Sure. I figured I would offer because we might all get murdered in the middle of the night sleeping here.
Well, considering I was already going to set up a watch, probably.
Okay. Well,
Fine, we can
come
meet
downstairs,
her.
please.
Right. I'll carefully follow downstairs.
same.
While
Uh,
I was gonna say while
yeah,
they're
you can go ahead.
upstairs, he was just going to be asking them what what did they work on? What was it like? What have they been up to? Do they know anybody affected by plague? Not necessarily in
you're
that order.
asking Leary this?
Yeah.
Alright. So the first thing she's going to do as soon as Yvette bolts away is ask the bartender for a very strong drink and not pay attention to you until she downs the shot. And then she's going to turn to you and answer your questions. She works for the government. She does not personally currently know anybody affected by plague, although she has. She actually thought that Yvette was lost to plague until now. And I'd say that's probably about as far as you get because it wasn't that long a conversation. Carrion, could you roll me a con save actually for that mixed drinks?
Oh yeah.
I
I
forgot that you
can.
had that too.
How are you dealing with the alcohol suicide? Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
She's doing
Hell
great.
yeah! Oh my
She's
god,
doing
is this party made up of
fantastic.
alcoholics?
Hmm.
Is that what we
Absolutely not.
were?
Carrion,
Tastes like
it's
water.
like yeah, it's like if you drank a beer, one beer.
Ugh.
Drank it fast, but drank one beer.
Yeah.
You all reconvene in the main room. Leary is going to gesture for you guys to follow her. As
I'm-
you
I'm keeping my eye on her the entire time we're gonna be walking.
She does appear to be armed since you're keeping an eye on her. She's wearing a kind of a tunic, a simple-ish tunic dress with a coat draped over it. And she has a sword buckled at her hip and 3 knives. She has no visible ranged weaponry other than knives.
And can I insight check for her body language, I guess?
Are you trying to gauge how hostile she is, or what?
Yeah.
What specifically are you?
Yeah. I'm just
Okay.
How did that work last time, though?
Go ahead and make your insight check. All right. She seems tense. She definitely seems like she has a lot of emotions right now, but you can't exactly tell what emotions they are. But she is going to lead you guys out onto the street, and you are actually going to have 2 guards flanking you as she leads you along the roads.
Are we
And-
getting arrested too?
Fuck.
That what did you do?
Did
I
you-
don't know.
Are you going to say something to that effect?
I mean, Q
No.
is.
Harry, are we being arrested?
Oh, I was gonna
I'm
say.
giving Yvette some hard side eye though.
Why?
Do
Because
you-
you're the one who suggested this.
Did you?
I didn't
Did
know.
you actually say that, Yvette?
Yes. I mean, seeing that there's guards all around us now,
Uh,
are we
No,
in trouble?
no, you're not. You're not in trouble.
And you're not just saying that, right?
I am not just saying that.
Okay.
I Zaz, I'm
trusting
sorry
you.
to you for continuing to do this. Can I insight check that for Eli? Because I am so paranoid after what happened to Amberlosa.
I mean, she said she wasn't just saying that, so.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
She could still be
insight check.
lying though.
Okay. I guess I
You
believe-
You're
can't
right.
tell.
I should have asked her if she was lying.
You
Mm,
are led along the streets, and you're actually led. So, Crow's Landing is kind of set. It's built up, and it's also kind of set on a hill. So the buildings just get taller the further inwards you get from the docks. And you are definitely being led up until eventually you're led to the parts where the buildings start to break apart and the buildings get larger and more ostentatious.
Just out of curiosity, at any point during this upward transit, were we ever on an elevator?
You were never on an elevator. It is just
Damn.
a steep upward hill at some point.
Okay.
At some points.
Why the fuck do I feel like I'm playing Dragon Age 2 right now?
It is actually kind of that. Yeah, that would actually be a good way of describing it. It's a lot of
Gotcha.
stairs.
So we've gone
We're
from
going
like
to the
Kirkwall,
gallows?
from like slums to market.
Basically,
We're about to get
yeah.
hard in Hightown.
Except you've already passed the market district. You're going
I'm
up.
sorry, Blake, what did you say?
Hard Hightown,
You heard me.
most popular novel in Thetis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are now in Hightown, except it is except it's in Crow's Landing, so it's not actually Hightown. But you are
Hmm.
functionally in Hightown, and the buildings separate and get fancier, more sprawling, closer to mansions. Although none of them quite reach it until you hit 4 large mansions, kind of.
Damn, Yvette, you were
Ish.
gonna marry up. You were marrying up.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Cards aren't off the table yet.
And you're led to the second one. The guards peel off and go back to whatever they were doing beforehand when you reach the path into the manor in earnest, leaving just you and Leary.
I have one more question.
Mhm.
These guards, during the entire time we were walking through, did they match uniforms with any other guards? Do they seem to be guards from the city, or do these look like personal guards?
These definitely look more along the lines of personal guards. They're still wearing the city's heraldry, but the armor design is different. But if nobody is going to say anything on the walk over, she's mostly gonna keep.
Oh God.
I would be just continuing that conversation from the bar. What's the government? I don't know what a government is. Why'd you think Yvette had plague? When did you last see Yvette? What's up? How'd you two meet? Why's
Okay,
your
this
hair
is
red?
something. These are questions that are gonna have to be asked in a role play, because she would actually be willing to answer to these, at least as long as somebody else doesn't shut her up. She's chatty.
Yeah. Assume Q is talking this entire walk over.
Actually, when it starts to tread from the government questions to the more personal questions, she will ask you to save them for when you get home.
Okay.
But she's perfectly willing to answer all the questions about the government.
Okay. What is the
None of you
government?
know much. None of you know much about government styles, and she's using a lot of words that you don't have a basis of understand. She's assuming you have like a middle school level intelligence, not an amnesiac's intelligence, even though she knows logically you have an amnesiac's intelligence. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut
Like
her off
she's
in the middle of one of her sentences and be like, hey, do you have food? I'm like starving.
we have food at home.
Okay.
You just got food at home.
Yep. McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's.
No, you bet we have food at home. God, you fat fuck want Taco Bell every Tuesday? Jesus.
Yvette,
What am I fucking made of money here?
at least she's not
She's
Taya,
wearing
who
a fur
shows up
coat.
and orders one black coffee.
Get your ass a fucking kale salad.
Long story short, though, the government is run primarily by elected officials. Actually, this is not a
Democracy?
Crow's Landing. It is a democracy. Actually, it's more an oligarchy, but
I mean, that's the best form
it's
of
run by a
government.
council. It's run by a council with citizen approval. If that makes sense.
That
If
would
that's a
be a republic.
republic. Yes, it's a republic then.
Yeah.
But when you get to the manor, she is immediately at just food is ordered to the serving staff, and you are led to the sitting room and sat down. It is clear there is not much choice in this.
Holy
She's going to have this
shit,
conversation.
Was I rich?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, like I'm looking around what I assume is a mansion if it has servants.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a manor.
Manor. I'm
A
just
little
gonna
bit
look around and
smaller
be
than a
like,
proper mansion. A little bit smaller than like a football mansion.
okay. Well, I'm gonna look around and be like, oh my gosh, was I rich?
You had money. Well, I had money.
Oh,
You had money of your own.
I do?
Well, yes, but then you died.
I did?
You've been gone. Well, you were assumed dead. It's been like 3-4 years.
I feel pretty alive. But if it's any condolences, I did only wake up like 6 days ago?
A month ago.
Way longer.
month
It's been
ago?
a month at this point.
Yeah.
It's been a month. I woke up all of a month ago.
At any point during that government conversation, did she tell us what she actually does for the government?
No.
Okay.
She's very evasive about that, actually, if you try and push.
I don't know about anybody else, but I am just kind of hovering by the front door. In case we need to make a getaway.
She would
I-
at least shepherd you into the sitting room.
I'm being very observed. I'm like making note of everything in the sitting room.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
Are-
I've been awake for 1 month. Not like haven't meditated in a month, but I remember a month ago.
Do all of you only remember a month ago?
We all woke up a month ago. Missing memories. Having a gap of more than a year.
I'm sorry, this is a lot to take in, actually.
May I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I, for the most part? Like, I know my name, or my first name, I think.
That is not an easy an answer as your name is Yvette Embervane. As far as I am aware, you grew up somewhere on the Elven continent. You were very evasive about your past. I don't know much of anything before I met you. And then, as far as I was aware, you fucked off with my money.
Oof.
Oh, I'm
And now
sorry.
you've sailed into my city. I'm amnesiac. So you can understand the sort of stress I'm under.
Yes. And I'm sorry. How much money did I take?
Approximately 4,000 platinum.
I'm gonna look at Q. Is that a lot of money? That sounds like a lot of money.
Q is like doing a bunch of like finger math counting.
For once I feel like you can just see Teo's usually stoic expression. He's just like, what?
Oh,
You know that meme that's like, the what? That's the face he's doing right now.
Yeah,
Spits out
Carrion
water.
has a
I assumed that cough was
similar face.
Teo.
She. Oh, that cough
Honestly-
was me.
I don't.
Oh, my bad.
I'm gonna look back to Lieri. How many ales can that buy?
That could buy so many lifetimes of ales.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna pay that money back. I'm going to try. I am going to try. And then you're just gonna see Yvette's hands raised towards her horns as she thinks of how she'll be able to pay this money back. Oh my god. That's so much money.
I mean,
At least it sounds like a lot. I've never had one platinum piece, or a gold piece, or a silver piece, or a
I
copper
mean, if it
piece for
makes
that
you
matter.
feel any better, it didn't actually do anything to me. It was the city that took the brunt of it.
Oh! Okay. And then the hands leave the antlers.
I can't believe that actually worked. out of
Jesus.
character.
Carrion is dumbfounded.
When you guys are all kind of reacting to that, though, she doesn't actually look that angry. She looks more wryly amused by the entire situation. Like, this is just so far beyond what she expected the answer to this question she's been having.
So what did I work as?
How much do you know about Crow's Landing?
I know that I arrived here today, and when I got here and tied off my boat, or no, my water horse, I'm sorry. When I tied off the water horse, we weren't kicked out like every other city we've been to.
That was your influence. You're a
Oh,
recognizable face.
holy shit. Did I just walk through the streets after stealing 4,000 platinum? Do they know? Like, does everyone know I took that money?
The council is aware of your crime.
Oh my god. Wait.
The average citizen isn't. The
But
average
I'm not.
citizen would just be aware of you as a former member of the council, or more accurately, the partner of a member of the council. You weren't on the council yourself. You were a combatant back when this was a proper military city, a proper bandit city, according to the rest of the country. And you took the peace deal with us and then took the money a year later.
Wait. I was attacking this city?
No.
Well, what peace deal did I take then?
Crow's Landing used to be a bandit encampment. The
Oh,
citizens were the ones to take the peace deal.
good. Good.
So you technically weren't a criminal, and then you became a criminal again.
But I'm not a criminal anymore, right? Is death a reset?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, darling.
Sounds like an interesting clause that needs to be explored in a law.
Also, who was going to take whose last name? No, wait, hold on.
You're
Never
really
mind.
bringing
I
this
wouldn't
up
know.
now.
I wouldn't know anything
Really?
about that. I wouldn't because
You don't
amnesiac.
even know about the
The marriage customs.
yeah, you don't even know about the
Yeah,
marriage customs of
that's what
my
I was.
felon.
Yeah,
Interesting question though. Do we know? Has Leary told us her last name?
No.
Okay.
we will find this out eventually. I will know
Technically-
who was going to be Mr. and Mrs. Who.
Technically, Carrion and Teo don't even know Leary's first name because no
Nope.
one told us.
So Leary, can I still work for this government?
I think it would probably be in your better interest to recover your memories to find out where you stashed my 4,000 platinum. And then we can discuss your return to the management of Crow's Landing after a very long discussion about more personal matters.
Yeah. Is it weird that I almost envy death now?
You can spend the night here. How long did you plan on staying at Crow's Landing before all of this?
We are simply here to pick up a package.
So can I expect you to be out in, say, 2 days?
Mm,
I guess.
Perhaps we have to figure out how to get back to our destination. And we can't exactly go by land.
Well, we have a boat. Water horse. We have a water horse.
Yes, and we need a place to go with your ship.
Q is gonna look up after taking a break from stuffing her face with whatever food's in front of us and ask, what about Rom Hills? What about Amberlosa?
We can go there. Carrion cannot.
You have another party member?
Yes.
Yes, our companion, Amberlosa, she is being held up.
And I'm assuming held up is an incredibly metaphorical way of saying more criminals.
She's apparently under arrest, although the details of her crime are unknown to us.
How about this? You can stay in Curzon for as long as you want. You can stay here for the night, but if you plan on staying for longer than a week, I'll hold you up in one of the nicer taverns. I will put in my good word for your friend Amberlosa if you do me a favor. Or a job, if you want to put a more official spin on it.
And that job would be.
There are. How shall I politely phrase this as her eye towards Carrion? There are a number of individuals living closer to Crow's Landing in an attempt to seek refuge from Hill's rather enthusiastic guard patrols. The majority of them are a live and let live situation. They're unfortunate or undesirable for some reason, and we don't kill people on our border just because they might be a little sick. Unfortunately, there is an individual who has been taking these undesirables out. I wouldn't want to look into it myself. I wouldn't want to assign guards to look into it, but while I have you here, and while you owe me 4,000 platinum,
Yikes.
and I'll even throw in some bribes to the guards and Ramos. Poor Teo.
You sort of just she probably just sees Teo's face just go like back to just stoic annoyance.
She
He
did
he.
say the entire town used to be a bandit encampment.
I mean, yeah, but he was at least
There was a
politely.
direct implication that she was one of the council members during
I
the event.
know, but like he was at least listening politely, like with an open expression, and now he's gone back to just like. And is there a time limit on this?
Before your friend's execution or imprisonment or whatever she has in store for her.
Immediately, then.
Then it's immediately.
What other information do we need to know?
You might want to go ask one of the only survivors. And she's going to give you directions to find an individual named Valiant.
An individual named Valiant?
Valiant. He
Right.
is about. His cabin is about 12 miles from Crow's Landing, so you could conceivably get there in about half a day.
Right, and could you tell us, since we came here for a particular errand, could you tell us where exactly to find a certain, what was the name? It was
Barrend?
Berend?
Barrend.
Yeah. A man by the name of Berend.
Name doesn't ring a bell to me, actually. You'll have to ask around, probably a shop owner or something.
Right. Q, that's on you.
Okay. Q is actually also gonna. Oop,
I will escort you. You know this, right?
okay. Q is gonna ask, aside from this one survivor, can we visit any of the other victims' homes? Or any of those known locations? Like, not
I'm not
necessarily.
going to lie. We weren't aware of this until Valiant brought it to us. Nobody else has officially come forward. He's mentioned that it's been several people, and he had other people who corroborated, but he was the only official witness.
Talk to him about it. Okay.
Because the guards don't care.
Yeah.
Just like a real serial killer. Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Why'd they listen to Valiant and no one else? Nobody else come forward, or
Nobody else
something
has come
special about him?
forward.
Okay.
Which is why she said he's the only survivor that they've come across. He's the only one that has. He is the only survivor that has actually reported it to the guards. There might be more, but she's not aware of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Great. I'm ready to sleep.
Alright, well, I can bring you to your rooms, and if you need anything, just ask anybody. You're all led to guest rooms. And there are only 3 guest rooms, so somebody's gonna have to buddy up.
In my own house? No.
I don't think you're gonna be able to share a bed with Leary.
No, I just get my own guest room. What do you mean?
Oh. Okay. Never mind.
Fair.
I misinterpreted what you were going for.
I will go with either Q or Carrion, whoever.
Works for me.
If Carrion wants to sleep alone, I'll let her. Or would you prefer to share?
We have shared so far. Rest up now.
Alright. Q, if
Mhm.
you need anything, please wake me up lightly, gently. Do not yell. Do not knock. Unless it is an emergency.
Okay.
Do not wake me under any circumstances. I do not care if you're dying. Do not wake me up.
Oh. Okay.
Good old Carrion. Scaring the shit out of everyone for no reason.
I mean, I'm not scared. I'm just sad.
I'm honestly, I'm
I mean,
just gonna.
Theo's gotta be a little scared that he might accidentally roll over, wake her up, and then she'll be like, "Rawr!"
I sleep like a statue, so no.
I mean, if I need to
Um,
wake Carrion up, I'm just gonna wake Teo up and have him wake her up.
Yeah, no, but like when Carrion says that, I am gonna like this. It's gonna be really awkward coming from Teo, but he's gonna like awkwardly pat Q on the shoulder or something. Just like, he doesn't know how to express "I'm sorry" that was said, other than an awkward pat.
I'm gonna seek out Leary.
I'm gonna go the fuck to bed.
You find Larry. She has retreated from the sitting room to what looks like her study, maybe? Study/library?
Quick question.
Feel free to ask.
Do I have any things that were mine here? I want to see if I can learn a bit more about myself through things that I may have left behind.
It's been 5 years,
Holy shit.
and we didn't exactly split under the best circumstances.
Oh,
Well, you did steal my money and leave, so there's that. Some of these books in here might be yours, but if there is anything, it was folded in my stuff.
okay.
There's nothing sentimental that was kept.
Okay. Sorry about stealing all your money again.
You apparently don't remember any of it, so
Not a lick. I will do my best to pay you back though.
if you retrieve your memories and find where you stashed platinum, then I would appreciate it returned, but I'm not going to ask for you to come up with the money for something that you don't even remember doing.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'd recommend staying away from the city's treasurer. He will
I-
stab you in a heartbeat.
I assume he might. You know, treasure sounds valuable.
Is there anything else you need, or
No, I'll leave now. Goodbye.
she just waves at you?
Yikes. I'm never going to figure out who the fuck I am.
She does not look entirely pleased with this conversation.
Woo! I'm gonna go to my guest room. And then I'm gonna close the door, lock it, and just cuddle up with my fox.
All right. At least Steven still loves you.
Yes, Steven still loves me.
I'm not
Amberlosa.
going.
Oh, yep. What do you
Oh,
have for the
sorry.
rest of the night?
I was just saying I'm not going to bed just yet. I'm honestly gonna try and push the envelope a little bit and see how long I can just wander around before someone gets pissed.
If you leave the house, you are actually tailed by one of the armored guards.
Oh, I'm allowed to
He's
leave the house?
yeah. The guard. If you leave the house, the guard will tell you that he has to follow you for your own protection. But
Okay.
you are not restrained to the house.
Okay. I might just go for a walk, see what a city's like, and then go to bed.
All right.
I don't have
It's-
any money to buy things, so.
It's not quite a city. It's still technically in town
In
status.
town.
It's in that awkward phase in between town and city.
I don't fucking know. I've never been in one.
To you, it is the biggest city you have ever seen. Amberlosa, it has been a truly terrible 3 days for you. Well, it's
I
2 days
believe
for
it.
you.
I believe it.
You are. I feel like I should. Do you have any escape attempts up your sleeve? I should say.
Not currently.
Okay. It's probably. It is actually probably the next day that Sergeant Felgren is going to start you on your trip to Romhells. He is quite unbearably smug, actually.
Oh, I believe it. How
And
big is this boat?
this boat is, I would say, slightly smaller than the Rogue Wave. It's not a big boat at all. It's more just meant for transport, like
Alright,
person
so
transport.
probably has a personnel of like 10 to 12.
It's got a personnel of 8, so
Okay.
it has a personnel of 8 plus Sergeant Pilgrim, so 9 technically. But he's not working.
Yeah.
And along the way, he has quite a bit to say about Audrey and how he is disappointed that she is currently away from Romhells, but she might be back in time for the execution.
I'm enjoying this a little too much.
I've been waiting for this for a minute, babe.
Well, certainly my capture would no doubt promote you to a lieutenant status.
Maybe. Don't see how it's gonna matter much to you.
Just, I mean, seeing as I'm surrounded, can you at least entertain a conversation?
I could, except I know you're sneaky, Amberlosa. I know that your words are how you seduced a good man, a good woman, a good anything to the twisted abominations that you turn them into.
Yeah, I think I remember your commander let a kid die. I remember that.
You're not going to turn this into some sort of martyrdom. You're in the wrong. And you're finally going to be punished for it.
Well, probably. But you never know. Certainly strange things happen within this country.
He is not going to entertain much conversation with you, to be honest. He actually seems to honestly believe his words.
And all the rest of you? You're just
They
going
appear to be on orders not to speak with you actually. Anybody who's caught actually responding to Amberlosa does get reprimanded.
Oh my god, you people are insufferable. How do you progress without a conversation on the deck of the ship? All I can hear is just waves and wind.
To catch up with the rest of the party, you are a day behind them in terms of traveling, so you would arrive at Ronhel's the same morning that the rest of the party wakes up.
Okay.
I kind of want to go ask Leary what kind of fighter I was, or what kind of combatant I was, but I'm genuinely afraid to bother her.
She only has more money than God.
Yeah, well, now she has 4,000 less platinum than God, but yeah.
Not to diss your miss from another life, Q still has not quite gotten over those bad vibes from the introduction and is mostly just wandering at the house looking at stuff.
Wandering around the house, there are actually a fair few number of interesting things. She seems to have a habit of displaying trophies. Some of these are clearly trophies from her time before Crow's Landing became a significantly more legal venture. There's plenty of like torn off heraldry symbols and all that sort of stuff.
Wait, like kill trophies?
Yeah.
Yikes.
She has a room for it. But she definitely has a trophy room, and that's definitely probably one of the more interesting rooms in the house.
If these are
Other than that, there's quite a few locked rooms that I assume Q wouldn't try to pick the lock to. So
I don't have anything to pick the lock with. I'd have to break it down,
yeah,
and that's a bit obvious. But
yeah.
back to the trophy room thing, I
Mhm.
know my equipment doesn't have any heraldry on it, but is there anything that matches any color or any other types of styling? Or anything that just
There
rings a bell on the
is
fact that I know weapons?
there's a spear that is a very similar design to yours. It's not the same design, but it's clearly like a similar aesthetic. Like it was clearly made by the same either culture or style or whatever.
I don't suppose she's gone to the extent to put, like, commemorative plaques on these things.
There is on some of them. This one is with this one is with a set of it's like a set of 3 different styled spears. It's set against the wall in like a decorative like holster, and it's 3 different style spears, and none of them are labeled exactly. But one of them matches your spear very well, actually.
Is anybody around?
Nobody
This
is
is an
currently
awful idea.
watching you.
And it's not in a case or anything?
It is hanging against the wall.
I'm just gonna say this beforehand so you know my intent. That way
Mhm.
it's not bullshit later. I'm not trying
Mhm.
to steal this, but I
Uh-huh.
am going to take it off the wall and just like run through whatever practice maneuvers I do with my own spear.
All right. It's longer than yours. Probably made for somebody taller, or it's meant for a different reason. So there's a little bit of that. It's kind of like a cross between a spear and a halberd, honestly, in terms of length. Like a hand and a half sword, but
Gotcha.
the spear equivalent. But it works out pretty well. It's well balanced. It's well made. You get a confused servant sticking their head in, but when you don't look like you're actively trying to make off with the spear, she'll just go back to her job, checking in on you occasionally. So now you kind of have eyes on you, but not really.
Okay, I'm just gonna be in that room doing that until something else happens.
Okay. Well, so that's what you're doing with your morning. What's everybody else doing with their morning?
Is it a different morning?
It is the morning after you guys spending the night.
Straight. I'm gonna go find Leary.
Okay.
Because now I've given her enough time to, like, not be annoyed by me to where I feel like she won't try to kill me if I ask any more questions.
Okay. You are politely told by these servants that she'll meet you for breakfast. But she's currently in her room and not seeing guests.
Understandable. I'm gonna go look through on the house then.
All right. Do any of you have anything in particular that you want to do before you're called to breakfast, other than Q's?
I
warm
am
up?
going to try to find Q. I don't need her for anything in particular. I just get antsy leaving her unattended.
I will say, if you go in my room, it's very obvious I spent a good portion of the night jumping on the bed.
Yes, I definitely need to find her. Oh la la.
You find her in the trophy room, practicing with one of the trophy spears.
I shake my head a little bit, but I guess I join the servant in watching just to make sure she doesn't hurt something.
I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
In this very specific instance, I know what I'm doing.
Yes, but Teo has never seen you do this indoors before. And it makes him nervous. Wait?
You are really uncomfortable with one of the trophies.
Oh,
Giant mandible.
a giant man.
Mm-hmm. This one actually is labeled. All of the monster parts and more not weapon and armor trophies are all labeled. This one is labeled as a purple worm.
As a what?
Purple worm. Purple worms have mandibles, right? That's the one that has mandibles, or is that a rock? One second, I'm going through my different D&D.
I really don't know.
I'm going through my different D&D giant things.
I mean, it certainly has a gaping maw, but
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
don't know if
sorry,
you could say it would have a
Remoras.
mandible.
Yeah.
Remoras.
I don't know how to spell that.
Remorhazz?
No.
Damn it. That's
There
why
we
I
go.
lost the state spelling bee.
I only
You
know
almost
what
got it right. You were off by one.
I literally
Ah, an extra
only
Z.
know what that is because I watched Joe's Wednesday campaign. It's literally the only reason I know what that even is.
But
that's why you
something about it is making you
campaign.
something about it is making you very uncomfortable.
Then I will inspect it more closely while keeping Q in my line of vision.
It's just a torn off. It is a torn off chunk of chitin. Chitin, is that how you pronounce it? How do you pronounce that word?
Chitin.
Chitin.
Who the fuck knows even?
Kitten.
I
It is
do,
actually
because that's
chitin.
actually.
Kitten?
Chitin?
No, it's chitin.
It's
It
chitin.
is chitin?
Yeah.
I was
Is
right the
it?
first time.
I pronounced it chitin for years because the only place I had seen it was in Morrowind, So I
Yeah,
only
but for
learned.
years-
Okay, the
the
only
only
place I've
place
seen
I
it is
know-
in fucking Skyrim, so I was like, I don't know.
The armor looks worse in Skyrim. Just play Morrowind.
The armor looks so much worse than Skyrim.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine anything that would look worse than the fucking chitin armor that they have.
But it's about probably the length of your shoulder to the tips of your fingers.
Hmm.
And it's propped up in a display case.
Right. Okay.
It appears to be the only giant monster trophy other than what is unmistakably a couple dragon scales.
This bitch is nuts.
I say, what was your fiance doing?
I don't know,
Yeah, you literally don't, do you?
but I feel as though she may have wore the pants in the relationship.
Oh, 100%.
If I happen across the other two in the trophy room, I'll check it out as well.
Okay. It is the trophy room. There are dragon scales, remeras, mandible, weapons. There's a very nice battle axe on the wall.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it's made out of this kind of like this really pale metal.
I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
gonna
are. Oh,
inspect
yep.
it closely.
It is very shiny. It's not quite as shiny as you can make your weapon, but
Mm-hmm. I
but
don't
if
wanna put it
nobody
back.
gotta, there's a servant watching.
Or I could just stand there holding it all day.
All right, so you're still standing there holding it when you're called for breakfast.
Yes.
Do you put it up?
I wouldn't fuck with this woman, Kai. This bitch is killing dragons.
She's gonna add your fucking
There are three.
horn.
Oh, I would like to mention that the different dragon scales are different colors.
Multiple dragi. This
Oh,
bitch is killing dragi.
that is not the plural of dragon.
It is now.
No, it's not. I refuse.
Fucking how would I know? I'm an amnesiac.
I'm not gonna let it go. I'm just gonna stay there.
Alright, well,
This
soon
battle
we'll
axe is the love
see-
of my life.
Well, you're going to breakfast without carrying, guys.
That's, you know what? It's fine.
How are you gonna feel when we see her horns on one of the trophy stands?
I
You know what? I will gladly give them to your fiance. If she wants them, she can have them.
I won't be shocked. I'll be honest. I won't be entirely shocked. I will have expected it at this point.
At everybody who has horns right now. If she wants them, she can have them. Just don't hurt me.
No, man, she gonna straight up like mount her ass over a mantle, like that one episode of SpongeBob.
Getting
Yikes.
weird.
All right. Breakfast is served, and Leary joins you. She is definitely trying her hardest to keep it to small talk.
So, what kind of combatant was I?
A spellcaster,
Okay.
pyromaniac.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've come into a bit of a problem lately. When I get a little too scared, I combust.
It's not that dangerous, honestly.
Okay, that's good.
Were you planning on going and seeing Valiant today? Or going to find this Baron?
Perhaps we should find Berend first, since that is why we came here. It is a bit time. No, we should speak to Valiant first, actually.
When you go and meet him, go ahead and show him this, and she's going to pull out a sealed and hand it over to Teo.
God fucking
Good
damn
choice. Good choice, really.
It was either Teo or Yvette.
Right.
Just tell him that you're envoys of the Queen and you should be fine.
Excellent. Alright. Does anyone else have any more business or questions, or shall we get to business immediately?
I'm just gonna ask her about that spear. I probably don't have mine on me to show her the exact style I'm looking at, but I'm going to describe it as best I can.
Alright. You describe it as best you can. Well, it's a pretty standard Fourier spear, actually. Just got it from I don't know, whatever they call their commanding officers. They've got funny names for everything. I can't be expected to keep up with all of it.
And this is a spear that really closely resembles Q's, right?
Mm-hmm.
But remember, my equipment resembles the people at Romhel's.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You got a pretty eclectic mix of armors and weapons on you.
I'm just gonna have to note that down for my own observations because I'm like that.
Did you have anything else for Leary before you left her house?
Nothing she's probably gonna
Mm.
answer.
I mean,
No.
you can ask.
I mean, it's just gonna be more about what she does for the government and the circumstances surrounding when Yvette went away. Slash things she
She's
also
going
probably doesn't know
to.
about, like what's in the forest and whatnot.
She is going to continue to be evasive about her position in government. She is going to explain that the situation surrounding Yvette's disappearance were at first she thought that she'd caught the plague and ran away, and then she found the 4,000 platinum missing and was like, oh, I guess something else happened.
Maybe I ran off to cure the plague, and I just needed a lot of money to do it.
Maybe you ran off to the Exarch version of the Bahamas.
Where's the best tax sanctuary in Glycellen?
Yeah, for real. You go to
That would
fucking
be
Switzerland
Kleinen.
offshore.
Are you going to start to make your way to Valiant's house?
Oui,
Anyone comes to get me.
oui, bien
I'll
sûr.
come get you. I'll be like,
Mm.
hey,
If anyone
Carrion,
comes to get me, oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry.
we're
Oh,
leaving.
I mean, you're welcome to do this without me.
j'ai peur. J'ai
You should
peur.
come with us. 'Cause
Oh.
you're the bigger person of the group.
I marked the vague location of Valiant's house.
And I can stand behind you in combat and stuff.
You're a
That's
lot
pretty
taller
cool.
than.
You want me to be your meat shield?
I want you to be a beacon that keeps bad people away from me.
I'm just
I'm gonna take my
casually
hand.
flourishing this battle axe in my hand, making direct eye contact with
I'm gonna
Yvette.
I'm gonna walk up and place a hand slowly on the axe and try and put it back towards its display case. This woman kills
While I'm
dragons.
flourishing it,
I don't know what flourishing means. Are you just
it's moving around.
Oh
Yeah.
no, 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 never
Creatively.
mind. Never mind, never
Vi-
mind. No, no, no.
violently swinging it in every
Yes.
direction.
Yes, I want you to do that in front of me at meaner people than me.
Or I could just do this at you.
But don't do that at me, please. And then the hands go to the horns.
Ask your fiance if I can take this with me.
I don't know if she's my fiance anymore, and she scares me quite a bit more than you do. You go ask her.
Fine.
Fine.
I'll go find.
I'm gonna
That's
follow. I want to
fine.
fucking see this happen.
I feel like I'm waiting at the entrance for the rest of you fucks to show up.
You
So
probably
you would
see.
you would actually meet her there then because she's on her way to work. So she's throwing on her fur coat and strapping on her ring belt.
Great, I have to witness this. Fuck. Just what I wanted.
Carrie, you go walking up with the great axe.
Yeah.
How do you start this conversation?
Pardon me, miss. I had a small favor to ask.
And is it related to the axe?
Perhaps.
Go on.
You have sent us out to complete this task for you, and it could be very dangerous. You did say yourself that he is a serial killer, so I currently have a weapon on me, and like I still have my great sword on me, probably.
Mhm.
That I am not as comfortable with. I just grabbed it when we all woke up, and was wondering if I could take this with me instead.
I will gladly get you a great axe from the armory, but I am not going to give you the magical great axe that I won in combat.
I saw you had drag eye scales too.
Unless you want to beat me in combat.
Teo is just shaking his head, just like, "No, please, please, no."
He was
Perhaps
imitating
once we
Yvette's horn grasping, even though there's nothing there.
She's grabbing your
Wait.
hair.
I'm sizing her up. Honestly.
She is approximately, like I said, 5'6"-ish, 5'7"-ish, red hair. She is not currently wearing armor, but she also looks like she's going in for a day at the office.
Mhm. It is a very tempting offer, but perhaps
I will
once-
say she is scarred to hell like a truck.
Yeah. Perhaps once we finish this favor for you. Yes.
I would also like to do the combat, but more of a spar and not murdering each other.
Sure, I'll duel you for the great axe and spar with Yvette when you get back from helping Valiant.
May I have a great axe from the armory, though? Please.
Yeah, go ahead and follow Sven.
I'm gonna look at Leary. I think that might be the first time I've ever heard her say please.
Just follow him to the armory and he'll be able to get you that great axe.
I will
You'll
do
be
so.
leaving the great sword though.
I
We can
will
pick
do
that
collateral?
up
so.
and send it out. It would be a more even trade. Then you set off for Valiant. And that's where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Right. Excellent. Blah, blah,
You know,
blah.
I think my fiance could beat up your fiance in a fight.
Who are you talking to?
Anybody.